Welcome back, everybody. In today's video, there are 3 games for you to watch, and I'm going to be showing you my new strategy, which I've called split jungling. If you have watched in the past, you're going to notice that the playstyle is very similar to double jungle. The only difference, of course, is that we are now the primary jungle. We are not in the support role. And yes, for those of you who are curious, double jungle was indeed killed by the lane swap changes that Riot did. They've since been hotfixed, but either way, for the last 2 weeks, this is what I was working on, and I'm keen to show it to you. By the way, the lane swap changes, they've been hotfixed, so it is viable to do double jungle again. It's still not as good. There's some issues that Riot need to fix, but they've made it clear that these changes are going to stay for at least a little while, as this week marks the start of Riot's rebranding of the Pro League of Legends scene, which they've called First Stand. I know most of you probably were not even aware of this, but it's already begun. Riot just suck at promoting it, so if you're like me and would watch it if you had any inkling that it was actually on, then you should use the Opera GX browser. They've got a partnership going on with Riot Games with a goal of becoming the ultimate browser for League of Legends esport events. Inside the Opera GX browser, you'll find a dedicated Riot corner with access to match schedules and the latest tournament news, so that it'll be easy to know what's going on and, most importantly, when it is going on. What's more, there are special browser mods with official League of Legends champions, so find your favorite champion on the Opera GX browser and install the mod. Then you'll have an awesome custom background with effects to go with it. If this partnership between Riot and Opera still isn't enough to convince you to give it a try, there are plenty of other reasons, including built-in VPNs, RAM limiters to lower your usage with GX control so you're not going to lag, and honestly a bunch of other features that are going to trump every other browser out there. The cherry on top is that Opera GX is also equipped with an import tool that allows you to quickly import all your settings from previous browsers onto the Opera GX platform, like browser history, bookmarks, cookies. It's compatible with every Google Chrome extension, so there's no reason you can't quickly swap over and enjoy all the perks that Opera GX has to offer you. To make it even simpler, if you want to set up Opera GX with all of the League of Legends mods already installed, simply click the link in the description or the pinned comment, and it's going to download the browser with everything all done for you. All you got to do is pick the champion that you like and get straight into it. Thank you to Opera GX for sponsoring today's video. Okay, in game number 1, we are doing Sion jungle up against a Darius, which is currently a very strong pick. Darius loves to start on the red buff because he has 300% bleed increased damage to that camp, so we can easily abuse that by invading him, which he isn't expecting. Darius is a very strong jungler in these early levels, so to have a jungler such as Sion who can just straight up walk in there and bully him is something he is not expecting. And this is where the split jungling begins. I take the Raptor camp and immediately cross the middle of the map, asking the Fizz to come and help me. He has lane tempo, and I want to abuse that because I know Darius is trying to get level 2 on the wolves. So the primary objective here is the same goal that double jungle has. We want to completely shut the enemy jungler down. This isn't about both of us taking an equal amount of camps, holding hands until we reach level 6. No, we want to demolish this Darius. We want to make sure he's out of the game completely, even if that means taking a less optimal clear path. It doesn't matter. Our goal is only relative to the Darius, not our teams. I want you to take a close look at the state of this map. Both of the camps that are available for Darius to take are split. He no longer has an optimal path to go to, which means that I can predict he's going to run to our side of the map. We can manipulate the path that the enemy junglers are taking by picking and choosing which camp we take and when we take them. I'm going to go into more detail in other games in this video that give a clearer example of what I mean, but for now, let's just take note that Darius is still level 1 4 minutes into this game, and we have control of the map. I've just secured the first scuttle crab on our blue side, and I'm heading into the Raptor camp, which has just spawned. We have the timer on it because we're the ones who killed it. Now I'm looking to cross the map again, straight through the middle. I'm not hiding it. I'm going for that other scuttle because Darius is so low level. He wouldn't be able to contest me anyway. Now take a look at the map again. We have 4 camps that we haven't even touched yet, so our clear path is completely intact. Plus we already have a level advantage, and because earlier in the game we took Darius's camp camps all at random times, all out of order. He's got a terrible path for at least the next couple of minutes. We now fast forward, we've just secured the voidlings. We also have level 6 because we went through and cleared 4 camps, and this syncs up perfectly with the enemy jungler's raptor camps, and now we're looking to contest his red as well. He does smite the raptor camp from us, but that is fine, I guess, because it means he can't contest this red buff anymore. And as you noted, he's only level 4 and we are level 6, so he has no choice but to give this camp up. You can definitely see the chaos that we are creating. It's very similar to double jungle. Nothing's different. Anyway, so we took that red buff, cut across the middle, and I noticed that my raptor camp was gone, which means Darius is in here taking my camps. I attempt to get onto him, but he does escape. This is actually a pivotal moment in this game because it goes from split jungling back to normal jungling because we lost tempo. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You just want to keep split tempoing for as long as possible to gain the most. But it is inevitable that in every game, it's eventually going to go back to regular jungling. You can't permanently keep it going. It's more about getting a lead while you can. One of the biggest issues I have with jungling in general is that I don't time my backs very well. I'm not sure it's possible when doing this strategy because I somehow always end up with 3k gold. I mean, it's a bit of a low-key brag at the same time as it's kind of terrible to have that much gold and not spend it. Oh yeah, and just so you know, these games are not in succession. Usually when we do these videos, they are, but in this case, they're not. And I didn't really cherry pick them. I did pick really interesting games, but none that are anything out of the normal. This exchange went for so long that the Darius who initially died first has enough time to get back to me and, of course, murder me. Anyway, we're gonna start time warping through this game because it's somewhat irrelevant to me. I more so want to show you the start of these games so you get a full understanding of what split jungling is all about. At 14 minutes in this match, we have a stronghold on the objectives, but the Darius is starting to get back in the game. Our bot lane is dropping the ball and handing him kill by kill. Everything that we achieved in the early game is slowly slipping away from us, and I don't want to let the objectives slip away as well. So I make the trade, my life for the Drake, to potentially give us a win condition in the future. Not sure if this is worth it. Could be argued that it isn't because it is giving them even more momentum, whereas the Drake potentially wouldn't, but it would deny us a win condition. Either way, we keep on those objectives. I pick up the Rift Herald and head to the top lane. We get a kill onto this set, but during that time frame, every other member of the enemy team, they stack the bot lane and kill the Twitch. I take that opportunity to use the Rift Herald and open up the top inhib, and then I run to the middle tower rather than using it on the inhib. I'm doing this to maximize the amount of gold that we can get on our team. Tier 2 towers have a lot of local gold when you kill them. Anyway, moving on, the time is now 20 minutes. The Drake has just spawned. This is one of our win conditions, but the Trendemir on our team, he is dead. So I'm trying to stall the Darius and the Seraphine, but next thing I know, Twitch and Leona, they've been caught in the middle of the map. Sadly, even though the initiation did look promising, Twitch got blown up instantly, so it was kind of pointless. We all end up dead, and the Drake, it goes to the enemy team. Our momentum was lost at that point. We're now skipping 4 minutes into the future where we are using the Atakan as bait. We had a team fight earlier, which got all of the enemy summoner spells, so this should be a great fight for us. great fight it was. We get the Otacon, and now we head over to the Drake, our next objective, which is about to spawn, and the same thing happens. The Leona and the Twitch, they get killed before we even get a chance to contest it. These two are on a mission to try and win the game themselves, even though they are the people who are furthest behind on our team. 1 minute later, the Twitch and Leona have respawned. They go to the middle of the map while the enemy team is killing the Drake, and they get wiped once again. Twitch is dead, followed by Leona, and guess what? The Baron is up as well. So they just head straight over to the Baron. I attempt to pick off the set because he was out of position while they were still on it, but we don't have the damage to kill him quick enough. Just like that, this game is over. Honestly, the only thing I care about is that we had a gold lead at the start of the game. That is what my main concern is. I don't really care if the players on OCE manage to throw these games. I'm realistically just looking to try and perfect the start, because I'm going to assume in NA that they won't just randomly throw games. Then again, maybe I am assuming too much. Anyway, on to game number 2. We are up against a Fiddlestick, so I'm going to invade this game looking to get vision on his blue side. I drop that ward and head back to my side of the map. I want to make sure he's not on my blue buff as well. And as he's not there, I then head over to his red side, and we managed to spot him on the Raptor camp. He's got a couple of options now. He can try to smite this from me, which wouldn't be very smart. He can go to his red buff, which also wouldn't be smart because it would take too long to kill, or he can go to the other side of the map, which is exactly what he does. So realistically, he didn't have many choices at all. He's going exactly where we want him to, and he's even on our ward that we had previously dropped. So everyone should know exactly where the Fiddlesticks is and what he's trying to do. But what they don't know is that he has no camps to go to, so he's almost certainly going to gank either the bot lane or the mid lane. I did try preemptively telling the bot lane that this would happen, but he ends up going to the mid lane instead. His other option was to come and invade us, which I assume he was going for that Raptor camp, realized it was gone, and then pivoted. It ends up netting him a kill, but what you're going to notice is that the Fiddlestick stays in the middle of the lane. Why do you think that is? The answer is because he thinks that we took his entire red side. At this point, he hasn't checked the red, and he thinks it's gone. That's why he comes and contests this scuttle, which I smite away, and it turns into a team fight. After that exchange, we go from having a decent lead to being ahead so much. Keep in mind, we already have a level and gold advantage. Now we get to clear up his entire red side, further putting us ahead and him behind. And then we get to go to our side of the map, which we have left camps up. I end up getting the Krugs, I go to the Voids, I get the blue, and now we are level 6 already, and the Raptors are spawning on the enemy side of the map. Two more kills secured, and once again, we have hit the 3,000 gold mark before heading to the base, buying a complete item from scratch on the first buy. Don't know if this is something to brag about or not. Either way, it happens far too frequently. I end up getting the support item, and we head towards the bottom of the map, where Fiddlesticks has just used his ultimate to pick up a kill onto the Bard. Because he used that ultimate, it means that he didn't go for the Scuttle Crab first, because there was no time for that. This allows us to contest it, and that's how this team fight breaks out. I do something important here that most junglers don't do. I decide to give the gold to a different member on our team. This way there's someone else to potentially help me carry this game, which is exactly what we need because I ended up recalling after that kill. The bot lane didn't do so, and they ended up giving Vayne 2 kills, which isn't ideal. It was at this point that we lost the split tempo because I came to the bot lane to try and kill her instead of taking control of the jungle camps. Here's another notable difference between my jungle and your common jungler. Rather than doing my full 3 clear here, I skipped straight to the top lane after taking that wolf camp, mainly because if you don't gank top at this exact moment, the wave's gonna crash and the opportunity is just going to be gone. Unfortunately, the Yone, I'm gonna put it this way, he's not a very good player. He went in, gave over gold for absolutely no reason, and he is a problem throughout this game. Either way, I still tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I froze his wave, and then I head behind his tower to cut the Jace off, potentially fixing this lane if we can kill him one more time. The plan was a success. Yone gets some gold, and now it's 16 minutes in this game, and Fiddlesticks is trying to get this Rift Herald. It is a very risky play by him. There's only 2 on their team, and he is surrounded by everyone on our team, plus we have the teleport. This is a 4v5. Absolute disaster strikes. Vayne gets my shutdown. I mean, the whole thing was just a mess, including me flashing the wall. But I mean, late TP on the Orianna. Yone got instantly blown up. Ezreal didn't use his E over the wall to clean up the Fiddlesticks, which is why I ulted over that wall. And as soon as I ulted, Vayne was there to knock me into it. Just a absolute disaster. A couple minutes later, Bard manages to land a really nice ult onto the Fiddlesticks. And now we have 5 players versus the 4 on the enemy, and they have no smite. This is the perfect time to get the Rift Herald, or so I thought, but the Ezreal decided he wanted to go and spend his gold. He had more than half HP. Just with the sheer numbers alone, we could have forced them to not contest us, but either way, he went back, and now they have the ability to contest our team on this objective. We do end up picking up the Rift Herald. I should have immediately ulted away. I'm not a fan of me ulting into them. That was a mistake. Either way, this Rift Herald should have just been ours completely for free. We should reset, and then the game would have gone on. We now fast forward 5 minutes into the future. The Vayne is mega cocky because she is so fed. They're out of position, and we use the Rift Herald to proc our Glacial onto this Thresh. We get 2 kills. We've just killed their strongest player, and we need to go and get this Baron. It's 3v5, and the Yone goes to the bot lane. Same exact situation. This was happening throughout the game. Anytime we have an edge, they just do not push it. They go and do what they want. And this allows the enemy team to use their smaller numbers to push us off what would be a free objective and potentially a win condition. They end up acing us. And then Orianna and I, who both have the gold, decided the game's over. We are not going to try and carry this. We surrender and move on to the next one. There was a little bit more play in that game, but honestly, I just couldn't be bothered trying to carry people who clearly are not trying to win. Now we're on game number 3, and we're up against a Graves. This is another very common jungler. We invade into the red side, and I always try to ping people off of this bush because they like to stack it on the enemy team. This time we pick up a kill onto the Graves, so he's in an awkward position. Because of the time, I am forced to start on this side of the map. I don't hate it, it's just that it's watered and I can see that, so I need to play this tactically. I walk across to the other camp. These are the 2 easy ones to kill, and I don't want to give vision of what I'm doing. I leave up the red camp. This is unheard of in terms of jungling. Leaving up a red camp, that is just crazy talk, but that is exactly what we do in Split. split jungle. We are trying to divide the camps, get to the other side of the map, and contest the jungler when he is trying to trade on our side of the map. The reason this is so good for us in this case is because the Graves, he doesn't have flash. He used it at level 1. I got a little greedy. I wanted both of the kills and only ended up getting one, but what this does is give us tempo. I go to the side of the map which I think Graves is going to go to next. He knows that we left his red buff up, plus he's already taken his blue, and the junglers are obsessed with taking the camps. I drop this ward preemptively, knowing that he's likely going to come to try and take our blue buff. Graves is killed once again, and I split across the map, heading towards the other scuttle because that's where Graves wants to go to next. Notice I leave all my camps up. I'm not going for the easy ones. I want to go for the ones that I can contest the Graves on, and I end up using the Scion bug on his E, which if you don't know what that is, if someone smites a camp, as long as you press E on it, it's going to last hit the camp. I did it earlier in game number 1 on the blue buff against Darius as well, but it needs to be timed to perfection. After clearing my red side, I run over to the voids because it is likely that is what the Graves is doing, just considering the fact that he has nothing else to do. We end up meeting him there, getting a kill and cleaning up the last 2 of them. I then cross over to his red side using my Hex Flash. We path straight through a control ward, so I know that he knows I'm here. I take the easy camps and head back, asking them to ward the Drake. It's very obvious if he sees me on one side of the map, he's going to try and do something on the other. That is what happened at the Void, and that is what is going to happen here at the Drake. At this point, we have lost the split tempo and it becomes a regular game of Scion jungle. I do the same thing I always do, which is trying to give gold to my team members and then focusing on the objectives. A couple minutes later, we manage to push through the base without much contest, and it finishes off with Ari getting a pentakill, and that's all I got for you today. I do hope that you enjoy the split jungle. I am very confident in it, and I look forward to playing it as well as double jungle in NA in the coming weeks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Y'all ain't on this level, bitches, Tilterella. Y'all can never beat them like a knock.